Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my garage. This is my 2022 Softail Fatboy 114, and she needs a tire. The stock tire has 6,800 miles on it. I was hoping I could get 7, and even 7,000. What do you think? I probably could, but I don't want to live that dangerously. Before I do this, I just wanted to show you some tools, different options for doing a rear tire. This open-end wrench is 36 millimeter, which is the size of the big nut on the right side. And I also have a big 36 millimeter socket on a breaker bar. The socket's very easy to get the nut off on my bike because I have the big radius exhaust, and there's just a whole bunch of open space back here. But when you have a real tight setup like I do on my Street Glide, you're not getting that big guy in there. So Harley makes this tool, which is 36 millimeter, and the issue I had with my Street Glide is you have to constantly take it off the nut, readjust, put it back on, and it is very tight with the exhaust. But that's one option. Another option is this Motion Pro. Basically, kind of like a low profile socket with a wobble. Won't need that for the Softail, but very good for the touring bike. And I also have a 30 millimeter socket, and that's going to be for holding this side if it starts spinning when I'm taking things apart, and holding it when I'm putting it back together. So there's a variety of options for this job. I will use this guy to hold the left side. I'll use my big socket to get things off on the right side. And that's pretty much all I expect to need for this job. I've seen a couple videos on doing this job, and based on those, I'm going to take off the couple screws that hold this top belt guard on, just to give me a little room. It's hard enough wrestling with this big heavy wheel. Don't want to have to be messing around with the belt as well, so that will be helpful. The other thing is you have the adjusters, and I've seen people do this job without touching these, but again, I think for what I'm going to do is I take a marker and I make a mark right at the halfway point here, and then I spin these back a couple revolutions and do that on each side. And then when I'm all done assembly, before I tighten the axle, I spin them back clockwise to where the marks were and then tighten things up. And that's kind of a poor man's way of ensuring things are even from side to side. So that's the lowdown. I'm going to do that now. I'm also going to pop off this clip and loosen and probably remove that nut. Just to continue with an overview of this job, I'm going to need to remove these two bolts to hold the brake caliper, and the caliper is going to slide that way. There's a bracket which kind of doubles as a spacer as well. So there's the bracket, there's a wheel speed sensor, since this has ABS. Looks like we've got, I guess you could call that a large washer or a small spacer, but we got that. And then over on the sprocket side, there is another spacer. Getting it apart's going to be easier because you just pull the axle out and all that stuff kind of drops, but putting it back together is where it's more of a challenge because you got to get everybody all lined up. But that's kind of an overview. Let's see how it goes.
One thing I've found helpful is if you slide a board under the tire, it allows you to easily move the tire up and down and side to side without having to bear the whole weight of the wheel. So just a little tip there. I'm getting the caliper bracket out of the way. I'll talk more about that when we put it back together.
Well, it's time to reassemble. I have a new Metzler Cruise Tech 260 4018. Okay, so here's the deal. For openers, I removed this lower belt guard. It's just kind of annoying in the way when I was taking the wheel off because of this part here. And I was like, you know what? It's going to be hard enough putting this thing back on. I don't want any more stuff in my way. So first thing I'm going to do is roll the wheel in and get the belt on the sprocket. Next up, on the left side, which is where the axle is going to come in, and incidentally, the axle is all cleaned up and has a nice light coat of anti-seize. Don't get anti-seize on the threads. Don't get it on the face of the nut, because that's going to make it, it's going to throw off your torque when you're torquing everything down to spec. Should be 100 foot-pounds of my bike, so be aware of that. We got a large spacer. In case anybody's wondering, the general consensus is these grooves face outward. These grooves, in the end, in my opinion, don't really matter. By the way, that right there is the mark from the alignment screw, in case you're wondering. All right, so there's a recess here in the sprocket, and there's also a recess in the swing arm, and that's true on both sides. So you're not going to be able to put these spacers in later. So we're going to come in with the axle through the spacer, through the wheel. The next piece is the wheel speed sensor. And then the last two pieces are the caliper bracket and the little spacer. All right, this caliper bracket can't be here until the wheel is in.
On the caliper bracket, there is a slot, and on the swing arm, there's a metal rail that slot slides onto. Now, there is a piece of rubber in that slot that prevents it from sliding easily, so just be aware of that. But the key thing to know is that while the wheel is still in position, after you've removed the axle, that you can get that caliper bracket out, and then you can roll the wheel out from under the bike. Likewise, when you're assembling it, you're going to roll the wheel in to its approximate position first, and then you can put the bracket back in on that rail and line the hole up with the spacer and everything else where the axle is going to go through it.
So on this side, I'm getting the belt. And the belt is on. All right, so getting the belt on was pretty straightforward, but now I need to get that spacer in place. I'm going to start sliding in the axle. It's in past the spacer. I believe it's in the wheel. So I'm just going to tap it through till we get over to the other side. Actually, I'm going to position a few things on this other side first. Okay, I have those items where they need to be. So it's just a question of how cooperative. I can see the wheel is cockeyed a little bit, so it's going to need to be adjusted, but we'll see how we do here. Well, that uncockeyed it some. Alright, she's moving. Okay. Hit a hard stop. Yep, some things need to be moved around. Looks like the frame needs to come down a little, or the wheel needs to be... I feel like I can push this through with my hand if I just adjust this wheel a little bit. Yep. Ta-da! Gosh, that was so easy. I want to show where the wiring is routed for the wheel speed sensor on the Softail 2018 Plus. So it comes out, goes along the swing arm, and it goes behind the brake caliper. There's a little channel between the brake caliper and the bracket. And as it goes through there, it drops down, and you'll see it under there. And the speed sensor itself has a little knob that you want it pushed till it won't go anymore. And that's how that wire sits. All right, well, she's in. I'm going to spray those threads with some brake clean to get off any anti-seize. Then I'm going to snug up the nut, spin, make sure everything's looking good while it's up in the air. I'll do the final torque when it's on the ground. The belt guards are back on. I moved the belt tension screw back to the mark where I had it, or did the same thing over here on the other side. Last piece I have to do is these brake caliper bolts, but you want to give it a good rotation, make sure everything looks good and nothing's rubbing or doing anything funky. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to lower it, torque that up, and not sure when I'll get a ride, but that was it, man. That was a job, and I hope I get at least 7,000 miles. Hey, wouldn't it be great to get 10? We'll see. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.